to south. Can y'all really feel me?
Hey YouTube! Okay, so today I'm going to talk to you about my box braids. As you can see, they're pretty long. This is the length. And each braid that I have done is actually pretty thick. It's a really low maintenance style and I've had it in for about a month now, and I can honestly tell you that I absolutely love it. So if you're interested in learning, how to take care of it, how to wash them, what to do to go to bed, things like that, stay tuned and I'll let you know. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about is how I shampoo my hair. And I do this by actually diluting a sulfate-free shampoo with water. So this is the shampoo that I'm currently using. It's L'Oreal Evercreme shampoo, and it's sulfate-free for normal to dry hair. And I find this shampoo is really good because when I use it, my hair doesn't feel like it's stripped of all its moisture. So I take this and I dilute it in some water and I shake it up in a little bottle like this. So as you can see, there's a little soapy mixture in there. And this is what I'm going to use to squirt in between my braids and on my scalp and really get it saturated, at least until the point where my hair ends in the braids. I do this, I really massage my scalp to make sure I lift off any residue or dirt and just make sure my scalp is nice and clean. You want to do this because you're sweating, if you're working out, I don't know what you guys do, but your scalp needs to be washed and it needs to be clean in order for your hair to grow nice and healthy. So that's what I do. I do that about once every 2 weeks. And then I'll get in the shower and I'll just put my head under the shower head and I'll just make sure I rinse it out. And as I'm rinsing it out, I kind of try and, after I'm done each section, I try and squirt out the water so that it doesn't weigh the braids down too much, because if you get a whole head of hair like this wet, it gets pretty damn heavy. I mean, this hair alone is like 5 pounds. So if you're not trying to break your neck, I suggest, washing it in sections and then wringing out each section and just going to the next one so you don't have like all this extra weight on your head and straining your neck. So that's what I do for shampooing. Stay tuned for how I condition afterwards. Okay, so the next thing I do is I use my homemade leave-in conditioner and I mix it in an empty infusion bottle. And so what I put in there is some water, I use some Nexus humectress conditioner, and I also use a little bit of olive oil. Sometimes when I want to cleanse my scalp a little bit in between washes, because I mentioned earlier that I wash my hair every 2 weeks, which can become a long period of time if you're active, which I am, and you're working out and you're sweating and stuff. So I'll add some tea tree oil to that sometimes, and I'll just spray my scalp with that. And the tea tree oil makes sure that your scalp is clean. It has antimicrobial properties to it and it's antifungal, so it actually makes sure that your scalp stays clean and odor-free in between washes, which is excellent. So I do that and I alternate between that moisturizing conditioner that I was talking about and this leave-in concoction. This is store-bought. You can get this from your local drugstore, and it's Sally Hershberger Hyperhydration Super Keratin Spray. And the word that I want to stress here is keratin. If you didn't know, your hair is made out of keratin, and it's important to replenish the keratin in your hair, especially when it's in braids and you're not able to deep condition it all the time. So what this does is this adds strength to your hair, so your hair stays strong, and this, your little mixture that you make, adds moisture to your hair, so your hair stays soft and hydrated. When you put those together, you get bomb hair. Like, I'm not kidding. When you take your braids out, you'll realize that your hair is soft and you won't notice as much, or if any, breakage at all when you're taking it out. At least I don't. So those are the 2 things I use, and if you need to remember, even if you're not using the same products I do, just remember it's going to be keratin protein and a moisturizing leave-in conditioner. Okay, so the next thing I have to worry about is my scalp. And there are 2 things that I'll put on my scalp. Not at the same time, but I'll alternate. Whatever I'm feeling like, I'll put one or the other on. So the first one, I'm sure you guys have heard of it, is castor oil. And this is the Jamaican black castor oil. It's by a company called Oil Blends, Hair and Body Oils. And you can get this at your local beauty supply store. And so I'll take some of this, maybe let's see, this amount. I'll just rub it in my fingers, and then I'll take my fingers and just rub it on my scalp. And I'll try and get, you know, the oil all throughout. And so that's just the back, but I'll put it throughout all sections of my scalp after I've used, you know, either my moisturizing conditioner or my keratin conditioner. So I'll do that, or I'll use this product. This is Wild Growth Oil, or Wild Growth Light Oil Moisturizer. And this is also a deodorizing oil base. It says moisturizer, but this is actually more of an oil. Ingredients, let's see if I can find them. Olive oil, jojoba oil, coconut oil, castor oil. So yeah, this is oil based, and this is also good for your scalp. And what these products do is they also make sure that your scalp stays clean because they have antifungal properties to them as well. So, you know, even if you're washing your hair every 2 weeks, or even if you stretch it to once a month, if you're using these products on your scalp on a regular basis, you will keep your scalp clean and healthy. Okay, so the last thing I do is I spray my braids with a Sheen Spray. And the one I use is the Olive Oil Nourishing Sheen Spray by Organic Root Stimulator. And I just take this product after I've, you know, done everything else that we just went through, and I'll just spray all over. Oh, got it in my eyes. I just make sure I cover all the braids, and what this does is it kind of seals in the moisture that you applied earlier, as well as adding a nice sheen to your braids so that they look nice and shiny and healthy. So that's what I do. Just to recap, you know, once every 2 weeks, I shampoo with a diluted sulfate-free shampoo, and then every single day I moisturize my hair or add strength to it. So I'll alternate. Like I said, I have that leave-in concoction that I make, and that's moisturizing. So I'll spray that in one day, and then the next day I'll use the keratin leave-in spray that I showed you earlier. And I just alternate. And it's important to try and moisturize your hair every single day if you can. And if you can do it twice a day, that's even better. So that's pretty much everything I do to take care of my box braids. If you have any questions about, you know, the process, or if I wasn't clear about something, please feel free to leave a comment below or inbox me, and I'll try and clarify things a little bit more for you. Yeah, that's what I do. So give it a try, and hopefully it works for you too.